Now this video is also going to be for my friends in China, Serpenza and Tyrone, and say hello to Beer Girl for me. But I wanted to show you what I noticed that you had a yellow motorcycle plate on the back of your bike in China, and I thought, well, I'll show you how to license a motorcycle in the United States, what it costs. When you buy the bike, you have to pay a licensing fee, and you have to pay for a license plate. But every year you get a little tiny, these are called tabs right here. When you put them on, they don't come off, and they're numbered up here. Every one is a certain number, and yet they have to be done once a year. Now, in this state here, let's see if I can get it. You get a piece of paper and you get a new tab, and this one is red this year. It says 2013 on it, but the price is $33.75, and it should be $30, but they jacked it up. Now every year these tabs are a different color. Excuse me. They only go on once. They're very hard to get off. They're very thin. And the reason that the colors are different, say if this was blue this year, next year they'd be like yellow or some completely contrasting color. What this allows is a police officer that's coming up behind you to look at the color of tabs, and if you don't have a current tab, then the police officers can pull you over and give you a pretty hefty ticket for that, because you have to get that every year. Now, I don't know about other states. 50 other states have 50 other different license plates, and I'm not sure of their licensing regulations or their costs. Some are cheaper, some might be more expensive. In this state, before a law was passed to make every license tab renewal $30, they used to charge you 2.2% of the vehicle's value, which worked out pretty good in 1963. But when you're talking about having a $90,000 motorhome, and you have to pay 2 or 3% of that every year just to get it on the road, I mean, it was just ridiculous. It rose to a lot of people licensing their expensive rigs out of state, and a lot of fraud and a lot of problems. And then finally, before this law was enacted, matter of fact, on this motorcycle, it fell into a gray area, because this is not considered above 50cc, it's considered under 50cc, so it's not a motorcycle, it's a moped, and that's kind of a gray area. So they only charge you like $6 for tabs, which was really good. And of course now, you know, gas is approaching $5 a gallon in the United States, in some places like Florida, and it could go higher. And everyone that's laughed at me for having a moped all these years, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have the last laugh. But this is just for my mates in China, to let you know, see what it costs to renew your plates. It's the same with cars too in this state. Now every state's different. So bikes are cheap to renew the tabs on. I don't know how much $34 in RMB is, but it's still it's a good price, and there are not very many mopeds in the United States. People don't drive them because everyone's got to be macho here, which is just the way it is. So subsequently, there are no scooter laws like there are in Europe or Germany or these places. There is just none. If they catch you speeding, well, yeah, they catch you speeding. But no police officer is going to go into court and look at a judge in the face and say, Your Honor, I chased him down, I got him. I caught that Honda 50. Because he'd be laughed out of court, and he'd be laughed off the force. Okay, on to Austrian spy weapons.